Shalom. I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Chakwadash. Double to the elder apostles of the great millstone who were well, peace and salutations to the hopefully like tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And Lord willing, they don't try to give me a copyright strike. I just wanted to do a response to, some things that were being said by this, y'all pretty much know who he is, rapper The Game. He was known to, come into the rap world. He appeared on the scene back in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. He's from Compton. I'm also from that same city, so I definitely, knew about him. But he's on Drink Champs with Nori, and he's expounding on, his claim to fame, how he, got into the industry, the things that, he witnessed, the things that he experienced, the things that he saw, and how he was actually pulled in. And I want to you know, respond, to what was being said and what helped to actually pull him into that satanic industry we know as, the music industry. And before I even do that, just to quote the book of Sirach 10 and verse 9, it says that, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such a one set of his own soul to sell. Because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. And this is pretty much what Jake have to do in order to, you know, come into a certain level of success in that industry, whether it be the music world, whether it be um, film, or whether it be uh the athletic world. There's certain requirements, there's certain sacrifices that Jake have to do in order for them to be, pulled in. You pretty much got to sell your soul to Satan, because Satan is the god of this world. So if you want to make it big, if you want to succeed, well, there's something that you got to give up. So what he started to explain right here at this point in the video, in the interview, which is a long ass fucking Drink Champs episode. He's getting drunk out their mind, like, in this dude Game. He's a very unstable dude. He's always with cornball antics. He lies a lot about certain things that happen in his uh career. He clout chases a lot. He does a lot of childish antics. On social media, and this is a grown man. This man is in his 40s. But you see why he has to resort to that, because this dude internally, this guy is he's lost, man. All right, he's mentally unstable. All right, he had a traumatizing childhood from where he came from. He came up out of the foster care system, because being under the curse, your mother, your father, they're not seeing eye to eye. They got their evil eye towards each other. So he came up under an unstable environment. So he was basically cast to the streets. So this dude, it left an effect on him mentally. So this guy, you could see that this guy is not all the way there, man. That dude is off the hinge. So he got to constantly always drink. This nigga put tattoos all over his body. He's bugged the hell out. All type of demons on him, and that's why he had to cover his eyes. He's doing all this talking with all black on, which is witch colors. He has this ski mask on. He's getting his little, Kanye swag on. Because he been around Kanye. Kanye probably put demons on. He probably put him through a ritual or something. But you see, as he's talking in his interview, his eyes are covered. Now, what do the scriptures say about the eyes? The scriptures say that the light of the body is the eye. Let's get that in Matthew, the 6th chapter. And as the saying goes, the eyes are the windows to the soul, man. You can look into a man's eyes and can tell that there's darkness, man. There's demons, you know. And a lot of these celebrities, despite their boasting and pride, they're dealing with internal turmoil, man. They're not really happy with themselves. All right, Matthew 6 and 22, it says, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." All right, and keeping your eyes single is, keeping your eyes straight. You only focused on one thing, and that's the kingdom of heaven. You're not being entangled with the affairs of this life, the cares of this life, the riches, the mammon. You're not coveting after the things of this world, the flesh. And Jake gets so caught up into that, man. It becomes deified. And that's, when they fall away from the Most High. That's why Solomon, what was it, Proverbs the 30th chapter, give me neither riches nor poverty. All right. We're content with what we have because we're able to keep our eyes single without distraction. All right. It says, verse 23, "But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?" And these jakes in the entertainment world, these celebrities, they're full of darkness, man. And that's the reason why they have to cope with it by resorting to alcoholism, drugs. They got to surround themselves with pleasures to cope with their reality. That they souls gone, they're slaves to the spiritual demon Satan and their in his physical counterpart, which is who? Amalek, who actually runs and controls that whole industry. You got to be a slave to him. He dictates your life from here on out, the moment you sign that contract with him. And there's certain gatekeepers that they set up, and they use them to go out and select token key niggas, and they lure them in through you know their desires or their temptations, and they trap them. They sit like it tells you in Jeremiah 5, "For among my people are found wicked men." They set traps and they catch men like birds in a snare. You know, they overpass the deeds of the wicked, and that should the boule niggas, the mogul, the CEO, of these certain record labels, these casting couch, Jakes, these making 6, 7 figures or more. I'm talking about the Diddy's, the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, or the Dr. Dre's, all these dudes, the Floyd Mayweathers. So anyway, getting back onto it, Lord willing, hope they don't try to, copyright me for it. But I just want to play this so you can see how it all goes. All right, and that's why the scriptures tell us, you know, don't turn to the left nor to the right, man. So listen real quick.
My man, you know what I'm saying? He'll tell you the same thing. Him and Chris Gotti, my New York niggas.
Right.
But after that, I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years, damn near. And this nigga Diddy, we never went to the studio one time, but he was like, "Yo, I fuck with your demo, that shit. You know, bad boy, but hey, Playboy, hey, here go a watch, Playboy, here go a chain, Playboy." I'm like, "Yo, we ever gonna rap?" This nigga like, "Nah,
what the fuck y'all was doing for 2 years?
Yo, but the jet leave at 5. We going to Miami, Playboy. We going to, you know what I'm saying? We going to New York. We in ATL this weekend, Playboy. Pop out. And I was going everywhere with Diddy. And then one day, this nigga Diddy, me and Diddy was smoking. He was like, "You know what?" Like he was really about to just give me some major game, right? He like, "You know what I've been thinking? You belong with Dr. Dre." I'm like, "No, you."
And that's how it go. All right, Diddy, he's one of them gatekeepers, man, of that industry. You never hear anything good anytime you hear of anything associated with that dude. That dude's a complete devil, a demon. All right, a lot of artists that came into the industry through him. There's always a horrible ending to their story, man. They get strung out, or they get killed, or they get locked up. They become super bugged out. They end up losing their careers. You don't ever hear about them. But at some point in time, they were very successful and on top. So Diddy is basically like a handler, man. And he goes and lure these, jakes that are anxious to get into the industry. And it ain't even about your talent. It's about if they can use you and exploit you. So this dude talking about Diddy took him around shopping for 2 years. You don't do that. Like, no grown man does that for another grown man for nothing. I think he told on himself by explaining this story, telling them this. A somebody like Diddy taking you around shopping and hanging with you for almost 2 years. Something ain't right, man. Something's up. And then it looks like Diddy was his original handler, but he handed him over to Dre. And we know about Dre. And what this reminded me of was this interview with Nori on Vlad, which I'm not gonna play this because Vlad, he will copyright strike you. Video will get taken down, so I don't want to play this video here. But in this particular interview, they asked him about if he believed in the Illuminati, and he gave his opinion on it. But he said concerning the industry, he said when you get to a certain level of success, there is a door, and he broke it down and said that there's basically three doors. You have a door to the left, you have a door to the right, and you have a door, that goes straight. And he said to the left, I don't know if that's some homo shit, but you know, there's a door, there's that door, and then he said as far as the other door, I don't know if that's some sacrificial shit where you gotta give up, blood. And I thought when he said what he said, you just put two and two together. Basically these are the requirements that Satan wants from you if you want to succeed in his world, in his industry. You know, you go through that left door that he was talking about. Hey, Diddy is right there. Diddy, Dre, Jay-Z, Clive Davis, Leor Cohen, Quincy Jones, all them casting couch celebrities, they right there waiting to break you through. And that's how it go, man. Satan, he be on the prowl. All right. And if you are a very covetous person, you're definitely going to give in to Satan. All right, because you desperately want the things of this world. That's why the Lord said, let's keep going, since we still in Matthew 6:24, it says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. You just can't do it, man. Because Satan, he's the god of this world. He even tried to make Yahweh Shai serve him. All right, when Yahweh Shai was being tempted on that mountain, let's go there real quick. Yeah, Matthew 4:1, it says, then was Yahweh Shai led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward a hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. So you see, Yahweh Shai, his eye was single, man. He was focused. See, and Satan came to Yahweh Shai at his most vulnerable time. He was weak in the flesh because he was uh, fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. None of us on earth can try that. You see, but he came to Yahweh Shai in his moment. And when you go to back to the story of Esau, Esau was in the same predicament, and he didn't have the same uh, patience that if he would have had it, that he possibly could have kept his blessing. To show you how vain Esau is, how carnal he is, how impatient he is, and our people have that same characteristic because they don't have patience. They don't know how to suffer. Verse 4, it says, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. Then the devil taketh him up unto the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. Again the devil taketh him up unto an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And he said unto him, all these things will I give thee. And so basically, I'll give you this world. You want the shine, you want the fame, you know, the wealth, and that comes with power, respect, money, women. He said, I will give these things will I give thee. It's like all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahweh Shai unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. So the Lord didn't serve Mammon. But Jake, in this world, they serve Mammon. But then, to show you that they're hypocrites, because they did whatever it took to enter into that level of fame and success, and to make that amount of money that they made. But then they'll still say, they love the Most High. They believe on him. They'll, quote scriptures every now and then. But you're a hypocrite because you serve Mammon. Let me get real quick. This is Job 27 and verse 8. And it says, for what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he have gained, when the Most High taketh away his soul? You see? And you're an hypocrite because really you professing like you a godly person, because like this world will have you think that you know um gain is godliness. Like it tells you in Timothy, You have, dispersed, selected perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, and thus to the truth supposing that gain is godliness. But we know that godliness with contentment is great gain. So you got these godless people that insult their soul. Yeah, you may have gained, world fame and success, but your soul is gone. Now you under the bondage of Satan. So you can't be a partaker of the Lord's table and the table of devils. All right. So I was listening to this, and then I remember this interview with Nori, which ironically, he was the one interviewing, of course, because this is, their host on this platform. But he basically broke this down years ago that to get into that industry, you got to go through them doors. Whether it's through, the door where you got to basically give up your manhood and partake in strange, rituals and stuff like that, or you got to sacrifice. You got to go to the Kanye route. That's why to this day he's all messed up since his mom was sacrificed. That dude, he lost it after that, man. He was never the same. His latest album, Donda, that's named after his mother. And that dude is more dark than ever. He's trying to, disguise himself through that Christianity gimmick. But that dude, he's full of darkness, man. He got demons all over him. You see? So you go through that door, you got to go the Kanye route, the Jennifer Hudson route, the Michael Jordan route. You got to sacrifice, somebody close to you, and that's a very dishonorable thing, man. That's why the scriptures talk about the love of money is the root of all evil, because you'll do anything to attain it. And then he said the middle door is basically you on your own, and that's when they'll be like, all right, well, you on your own, and we'll see if you become successful based on just your talent. And he mentioned that he went through that straight door, and he said ever since then he never went platinum, and he laughed. So for you to be around in the industry for a long time, that means that you definitely had to go through one of those other doors. All right, that's why Snoop is prolonged in this industry as long as he did, very successful. All right, all these different rap artists that stayed on top for all these years, what they had to do. And I found this right here because this was also on Drink Champs from years ago. 50 pretty much mentioned what Diddy did with Game, he tried to do with 50. Now hear what 50 said.
I'm going, the nigga Puff was like, yeah, like first he was amping him to get stout. Then he was like, he's like, so when we gonna get the chance to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just say? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga like a fucking. This nigga just tell me he'd take me shopping.
And you see Nori over there laughing because he already know what that's about. He already know what Diddy was on. This is the same Diddy that looked that he got real drunk and they had Fabulous on, and he just flat out just started asking Fab like, "Hey man, why we ain't never partied?" And Fab was like, "What you talking about? We've been to several functions before. What you mean?" Like, "No man, you ain't never partied. Like we ain't never partied together." Like I was like, "What?" It was a real pause moment, but you could see it in dude's eyes, man. That guy, that dude is sick, man. And there's no telling how many people he done broke through the industry and touched their soul, man. When that nigga talking about partying and taking you shopping, it means, hey, let me into your soul, man. That's how the devil, charms you and get close to you and break you in. So, it's out there, man. You seen awkward interviews with this dude. Like it was another one where Kevin Hart was you know, you had Kevin Hart and uh Diddy and Usher, and they was all in the room, and there was a bed right there, and he was like, "Yeah, don't touch the bed, no homo." And he was talking about how him and Usher used to wake up and do this and do that, and it was like, "Wait, what?" So you already know, they touched Usher. All these dudes are straight sodomites, man. So their souls are defiled, but that's what's required when you come into that industry, man. So, hey, Job 27:8, for what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he have gained when the Most High taketh away his soul? And Yahweh Shai quoted that, is, Matthew 16 and 26. This is why you got to deny yourself in this world. This is wicked, man. You like Jake sell themselves cheap too, man. Because a lot of Jake don't have any integrity. A lot of them are spiritually wounded from the curses, man. They're being trampled. That tells you that in Isaiah the first chapter that they're full of putrefying sores. They have no ointment for their wounds. Their bruises. The whole head is sick. There's no soundness in it. Our people are totally degenerated, man. They're gone. They have no integrity whatsoever. So it's easy to buy them. Their souls are definitely for sale because they're so desperate to get out of the curse. But all they do is make it worse for themselves. All right, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. The curses are not going to go away. You're gonna pierce yourself with even more sorrows. The care of riches make a man lose sleep. You're subject to more payments, more expenses. Women, coming around, and you already know what they do. It tells you that in Ecclesiastes 7 and 26, that her heart is snares and nets, and her hands is as bands. She's looking to trap you up. She gonna, you know, trap you up with a baby or get you to marry her. And you don't sign that prenup, she gonna stick around for a minute until she can divorce you and then take half your shit. Look at what happened with Drake. Look at what happened with Master P. You see? And then this fool game, this dude had been fighting for 6, 7 years in a case where a woman accused him of uh, sexual assault or whatever, and she filed a lawsuit against him and dragged him to court, and his dumb ass missed court, and he pretty much ended up losing the case because he was a no show at court, and they awarded that woman fucking $7 million. So what did he have to do? He had to pretty much foil everything over to his manager, that Whack 100 character. So now everything is in that man's name. And now, what would happen if him and his manager fall out? He would lose everything, man. And I'm pretty sure his manager got all type of secrets he holding over this dude. So this guy clearly is not a wise dude at all. But a lot of it's an industry filled with dudes like this, man. So this Matthew 16 and 26 says, it for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? You know? And it could be short lived, man. You could be on top temporarily and then still lose everything. Because the devil at the end of the deal always want his money back. Always. All right. That's why you're never supposed to trust your enemy. Because as much as he'll give, he can also take it back from you. DMX sold his soul, and he made songs about it. That Damien series on his albums, he talked about selling his soul. But at the end, you know, what did he have to show for it? He left all those children with basically with nothing. Because his estate, he pretty much had nothing. All those years touring and selling albums and starring in films, and the nigga was still broke. So at the end of the day, it's never worth it. But that's what happens when you envy your oppressor and choose his ways. All right. It tells you that in the Apocrypha there is a gain that turneth to loss. That's why I'd rather gain the kingdom. But in order for to do that, you got to deny yourself on this side. You got to, cut off, your aspirations. You got to cut off the flesh. You got to, put off those desires, man, and focus on the kingdom. Okay. And Jake see these celebrities and how they doing it for the moment, and they envy that. Let me get it real quick. Let's go to Sirach 9. Sirach 9 and 11, it says, envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. You know, that's why you shouldn't even glory them, because you don't even know how it's going to end for these people, man. It says, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. And they already made that agreement with hell. All right, let's get that in was that Isaiah? I think it might be Isaiah 20, is it 29 or 28? Let me think it might be 28. Yeah, Isaiah 28 and 15, it says, because you have said we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And that's what they've done, man. All right. You already made a covenant with death. That's why you're not to envy the glory of a sinner, man. They made lies their refuge. All right. Friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High. And a lot of our people, they have that mindset, and that's why they're not going to make it. you know. So, this is just another example. I mean, there's many countless examples like this, man. Whether it's in the rap, you know, the rap world, or the athletic world, or you know, the actors, all these different entertainers, the comedians. It's a lot of examples like that, man. All right. If you gotta, fight temptation, let's get James 1. Satan will put all those goodies in your face, man. You want that Rolex, you want them chains, you want them good cars, you want the house, you want the women, you want to be known. Hey, and going back to this interview where he talked about those doors, the door to the left and the door to the right and the door to the middle. This is what I thought about the scripture that I thought of. Real quick, let's go to Proverbs 4, and then we're gonna hit that in James. So it ain't even a question about it. when he spilled that out that this dude was rolling around with Diddy for 2 years and didn't even hit the studio, you already know what was going on. He was getting broke through. All right. And then Diddy passed him to Dre, and the rest was history. And that's how a lot of these rappers end up, on their level of success, and they're able to last as long as they do. It ain't talent that got you that far, man. We already know that. So this is Proverbs 4. Yep. Yeah, Proverbs 4 in verse 25 it says, "Let thine eyes look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee." Hey, that door to that straight door, man. Right? Ponder the feet of thy path, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Don't go into that right door or into that left door. Remove thy foot from evil. All right, because you got to be evil in this world in order to succeed. And the moment you turn away from, like when you turn away from the evil, you make yourself a prey. The world will come against you and hate you. All right, these dudes, they will lose their careers very quick if they repented and fully turned back to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. If they truly repented and turned away from this evil, wicked world, they would lose their career with the snap of a finger. These devils, they'll press the buttons behind the curtains and pretty much end the whole show for you. Close the curtains on you, man. You'll lose everything. You'll lose endorsements. You'll lose deals. They'll make you look crazy. They'll put tapes that they got out on you. Probably you doing some of the degrading shit that you had to do. They'll destroy you. So what do Jake do? They gotta stay a slave. Do what they're told. And don't go against the grain, don't go against the oath, you know? So, hey, uh, the scripture, came to mind when I was listening to this interview. Don't turn to the left or to the right, because Satan is he's trying to get you. At 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour, man. All right, he's known as the tempter. He will try to tempt you. And that's part of that fight, man. Is the condition of the battle. All right. So we turn not to the right nor to the left. All right. We have a one-way mission with a one-track mind to complete that mission. All right. And we got to fight them temptations that come along that journey. So this is James 1 and 12. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, but when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High, for the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust." You like what you're seeing, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh. You covet, you coveting after these tangible things, and enticed. You've been seduced. That's what Diddy did to all the artists that he done broke through. And now they thrown aside with their souls gone. You had another dude pop up about what Diddy did to him. It was what was the dude name? He was part of the making of the band, and he came out and broke down in tears, man. You could tell that dude was totally disturbed because they all are dealing with that inner turmoil from what they've been through and what they had to do. Says, "Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin when it is finished bringeth forth death." You see, You end up selling out, and you do the deeds that you normally wouldn't do, you know, in your right mind. You get turned out, man. You lose your soul. Now you turned out, and now them demons then opened up. Now you falling into all type of you know, hurtful lust that's gonna drown you in perdition. Jay get on those drugs, they get on that alcohol heavy because they got to cope with it. Look at that dude Orlando Brown, man. He's all messed up. Go look at his latest video that he put up. He was actually trying to go in on Diddy and Jay-Z. So yeah, man. We're blessed to be in this position, man, where we, you know, the Lord don't have us impoverished, but we also are not rich in this world either. You know, those are not good positions to be in this world, man. It leaves you at a very disadvantaged point with the Most High, because the rich man is like Yahushua said is greater. For is more possible for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom, man. Uh, there's a scripture that talks about let me see if I could try to find it. Uh, where is it at? Sirach. Yep, Sirach 19. In Sirach 19 and 5, it says, "Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned, but he that resisteth pleasures, temptations, crowneth his life." All right, like it says over here in James. All right, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. All right, so I thought a lesson can be taken from this, and that's why I did this video. All right, this Game on Drink Champs interview. And I mean, for the most part, it's entertainment, of course, but some of the things that they will mention, you know, is true to life. Got to take a lot of stuff they say also with a grain of salt, of course, but they'll spill some stuff without even knowing it. And that was pretty telling when he said that Diddy took him around. He wasn't successful until he started getting around Diddy, and Diddy gave him over to Dre. So they did some stuff to him, and he got on board. They put him with 50 Cent, G Unit. And I'm pretty sure 50 got his own story. All these dudes got broke through. All right. This is what you got to do in Satan's world to make it. So that's why we say, fuck this world, man. Love not, the scriptures say, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. And we know that this world is going to pass away. So all these Jakes that made it, that are, famous, and a lot of Jake look to them, they're going to be destroyed right along with this world. So anyway, I just want to go into that, and hopefully, Lord willing, this was edifying. Call Lord Yahweh Bashmi Awashai into the next lesson. Shalom.